road again. We're camping, and you know where? Just keep watching.
Good morning, everyone. So this morning we wake up at Collier-Seminole State Park in Naples, and so I can tell you right off the bat what area of the campground not to stay in, and that would be at our spot 75 and all the ones that are over here. So we still have to get up and explore and check it out and see what everything looks like, but this site is right next to the Tamiami Trail, so you hear the trucks throughout the night, you hear motorcycles, you hear cars. It's not too bad, but it's not really what you want to hear when you're camping. So we'll check it out, see what this looks like, and hit the beach either today or tomorrow. But we did have some kind of minor cold front pass through last night, and we woke up this morning in the low 70s, so it was just awesome. Really nice. This is the famous blockhouse that was built in 1940. The blockhouse is closed, so the second floor is blocked off, and then there's signs all over the place that says you can't go inside. But Jenny is absolutely 100% adamant there's a way that she can get inside. There has to be another door that grants access, so she just will not give up.
No. It's closed.
I don't know, maybe the park employee was correct after all. This is one of the most interesting features here of the park, is the walking dredge. So what they would do is that they would fit timbers underneath the dredge there, and then the scoop or the digger would go forward, dig itself in, and as it scooped up material, it would drag the dredge forward. Then they would drop the dredge back down and continue the process. So this is actually really cool. Everything here is original except for the cables. So this is exactly how it used to work back when this was in operation. This is one of the sides of the dredge where they would lay the timbers and then use them to help the dredge crawl. So this is the dredge that they use to excavate and build the Tamiami Trail, which connects Miami to Naples in the west coast of Florida. So during that time, the average salary for these employees was $75 to $150 a day. And so it says there that they would wear high leather boots, and they would wear them without socks in order for them to be able to dry quicker, because they suffered from a lot of foot infections since they were working in this swamp. So you can just imagine what those feet look like when those guys working all day, every day in the swamp in these leather boots without any socks. I always find history super exciting and interesting. So here they were using this dredge and creating the Tamiami Trail from 1927 to 1928. During that time, Miami was booming and Naples not so much, but they decided to create that road anyway, and that's one of the big turning points for Naples. It's still a pretty sleepy town compared to Miami, but that was a big boost for Naples. This is the Blackwater River. There's a map that you can get and it'll show you where the river goes, but you can launch your kayaks or canoes there. And this looks more like a boat ramp. Not sure. There is some parking here, but there's also a vendor, and they're on that side over there where they will rent kayaks and canoes, and they also have boat tours and nature tours in here.
No.
No?
No, my
This is real what? I'm actually glad this is happening. I wasn't in the mood to walk 45 minutes in the mud, but
I want it.
You want it?
Yeah, pero no con mis zapatos.
This trail is supposed to take 45 minutes, but at the pace that we're going, it's going to be more like 12 minutes. Got some really muddy trails here, so we'll see if somebody falls, slips, any kind of catastrophic event. Oh, please fall, please fall, please fall. Oh, I almost fell. The trail just went from muddy to flooded. Ugh, this water's cold. I'm not sure if we're at the right place, but it talked about an observation platform. Man, I sure hope this isn't it. We walked the whole trail, and I was hoping against hope that that other spot was not the observation tower, loft, whatever it was, but it turns out here's the parking lot sign, and that's the end of the road. So that is the observation place, that little boardwalk that was all covered in mangroves. You can't see anything. Still a really nice little hike through here. Bring sneakers or sandals, you don't mind getting full of mud. Well, definitely that was the end of the road for all that. Oh crap, are you okay? This is the you only get this at Sweet Camper Life. This is definitely the Sweet Camper Life. Hey, are you relaxed? Here's an example of a dugout wooden canoe that the Seminole Indians used to use to float around and get around here, the Everglades, in this whole area here. Pretty simple, and you can see some of the axe marks. Pretty narrow. Really cool.
Se va la mano, se va la mano, se va la mano.
Well, this is the conclusion of our trip here to Collier-Seminole State Park in Florida, southwest Florida, near Naples. So it turns out this is a great park. We hadn't been here before, and I've been wanting to come here and come to Naples, Marco Island area. We've been here before, but never camping. So there's some good and some bad to our trip. So we'll start off with the bad, which isn't really bad. But what did we learn? We learned that you don't want to be in any of the sites that are in the 70s and 80s, because we are literally right next to Tamiami Trail. So throughout the day, throughout the night, you hear the trucks, you hear the cars, you hear the Harleys. There's a lot of noise. So there's 2 loops to this park, and the first loop is right at the entrance, and those are sites 1 through 19. Those, we went by there a couple times. They're great. They're beautiful sites. Reminds us of the Anastasia State Park in St. Augustine. But that's really for smaller travel trailers and tents. But if you have a smaller travel trailer like ours, that is the spot to be. That's the loop. And specifically, I believe there were sites 10, 12, 15, 16, 14. Those were really nice, but any of those are pretty nice, although some of them were a little tight. So if you're coming here, I would recommend, if your trailer can fit, it's smaller, you go to the first loop at the entrance to the park, which is going to put you away from all this noise. If you have a larger a travel trailer or fifth wheel or something like that, then you have no choice but to come to this bigger loop where we're at. What you want to do is just stay away from the 70s and 80s, all these sites here. You want to go to the sites on the other end if at all possible. There's some really nice sites right at the entrance to this big loop, so that's something to consider. They also have really nice restrooms and bathrooms here, like every Florida State Park. They have washers and dryers, and there's things to do. So you have you can rent kayaks and canoes and go up and down the river. It'll be interesting. You see crabs, you see mullet, you see all kinds of fish. We did see a big, probably 12-foot crocodile crossing that creek right where you rent the kayaks and canoes, so that was pretty cool. It may freak some people out. If you don't mess with the crocodiles, they won't mess with you, but there is wildlife that you can see. There's also a part right there where you can take a look at what a saltwater marsh looks like in Southwest Florida, which is really a critical element to this environment down here. That's the nursery where all the small fish and crabs and shrimp and so on grow, and that's really the heartbeat of this area here, the saltwater marshes. And right next to that, there's a hammock trail that we walked, and you saw some of that video where we had an incident where Jenny fell, and so that was pretty funny. And so there, you just want to wear, we just went in sandals and sneakers, and we got a little dirty. It was muddy, but we also came here right after a tropical storm and Hurricane Ada. So when we got here on day one, everything was really muddy. Day two was better, and now here is you know, day three, and it's really, really nice. Weather's perfect. It cooled down overnight. So if you walk the trail, you can go in sandals and sneakers. It's always best to go in sneakers. Half of it is just a dirt trail, the other half is a boardwalk, and so you have that. You have the Indian dugout canoe area that you can take a look at what that looks like. You have a walking dredge, which is for me very interesting because that's what they use to build Southwest Florida down here, connecting Miami to Naples. And so that's what they used to create the Tamiami Trail. And I don't know if you can hear the motorcycles coming down Tamiami Trail. So anyway, and also just 30 minutes away is Naples Beach, which is a beautiful beach, and you guys saw some of that on the video as well. So I would say you want to come here, yes, this is a nice place. It's really close to Naples, close to Marco Island, not far away from Fort Myers either. So really nice. It was $22 a night here plus tax and everything. You can't beat that. And it's a large campground. There were a lot of mosquitoes. That's pretty typical of Southwest Florida, so make sure you bring bug repellent. We didn't really build a fire at night. We didn't cook at night because there were so many mosquitoes. Part of that is because some of the flooding that they had, but it is still pretty typical of the area. Also, one of the things you guys want to do is if you have kayaks and canoes, bring it. And you don't have to rent them. You can use them. They have the ramps there, the launch ramps, which you saw in the video as well. If you have fishing tackle, rods, and reels, this is a great place to make use of that as well. There's snook and small tarpon. We didn't see any sawfish. Those are pretty rare, but you may be able to see some sawfish as well. So there's fishing opportunities here. Right on Naples Beach, there's a big, really popular fishing pier that you can go to as well. Like I said, it's 30 minutes away. It's not bad. There's a Publix 8 miles away from here. There's a Target. There's a Walmart. So you're still on Tamiami Trail. You're still away from everything, but you're still close to everything as well. And just down the street from here is a gas station. The prices are pretty high because it's at the end of the trail. So during this video when we filmed it, the price of a gallon of 87 there was, I think, $2.57. And once you get to Naples, it was $1.99. It was as low as $1.85, I think it was. So, but you do have that there, and you can buy ice or whatever. So these are some of the things that that we experienced, that we like, some things that we learned, and so stay tuned for our next trip.